F sharp, A sharp, revisited.
Hello everyone and welcome to F Sharp A Sharp Revisited, the music review podcast where sometimes we torture ourselves by making ourselves listen to terrible, terrible music. That's right, this episode we are going to be finishing Wikipedia's list of worst songs, and we even have a bonus round this time where we put forward some songs that we think should be considered for the list.
Yeah, Joe decided he was going to move house, so didn't have much time to do things, and because of that decision we're going to talk about terrible music. I don't like the fact that you've moved house because we've had to do this, and I think that you should just settle in as quickly as possible. But I just want to get back to our usual content because, oh god, some of this was hard.
But then again, I quite enjoy torturing myself sometimes, so I did secretly enjoy myself a little bit listening to some of this music. So
you haven't introduced me yet.
Oh,
what's my alias this week?
You're the Chief Kamachi that initially came up with the idea the first time. So
yeah, I suppose.
That's what I'm calling you this time. And this time am the music critic supervillain Joe. Shall we jump into it? Because last time we covered songs up until including the year 2000. So we're going to 2002 with The Cheeky Song by the Cheeky Girls.
I forgot this song existed, to be honest. I remembered it in my head as being better than it is.
Same
Because
actually.
Listening back to it, this is just
bloody awful. The auto-tune during the verses.
Yeah, the auto-tune on the verses is
so bad.
I can't. The worst thing is, I can't even say it's the worst use of auto-tune on this list that we're going to be going through today. But
we'll get there.
Their lack of singing ability really shines through.
Lack of singing ability, lack of lyrical capability.
Yeah. I mean, it's
touch my bum. This is life. That's essentially.
It's less sexy than having your teeth pulled out with pliers.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cringy.
It's like it's a good. It's starting off this list. It is a good. It's a good argument for why Naughty's music sucked.
It sucked. It sucked hard, and this might just be one of the worst on the list. I'm just going to say it now.
I mean, besides the obvious, barrage of terrible coming into your ears, it's super repetitive, and the synth tones that they use on the song, it's grating. It's grating. It's grating. It's horrible. It's grating.
And they just follow the same melody as that annoying cook.
Yeah.
Are you a cheeky boy, Nick?
No.
Neither am I. And quite frankly, I don't appreciate...
A cheeky boy sounds like some sort of diseased creature in my mind. Some sort of canker. Just, ugh.
It's just whenever they say you are a cheeky boy, I'm just like, I don't appreciate my name being slandered like this. No. I am not a cheeky boy.
It's honestly just one of the least sexy songs I've ever heard.
Pretty much.
It makes me want to barf.
It's amazing.
It makes me want to pull my own skin off.
In a way, I can see it as like a humorous novelty song, but at the same time, it's too bad.
Yeah.
It's too bad.
If it was more obviously deliberately bad, then maybe I could give it more of a pass, but it doesn't strike me as being deliberately bad. It just strikes me as being bad.
Just bad.
So we've started off this list with one song that definitely deserves to be on there.
We've started it off well.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I could have just forget it, put it back into the bin of history, but with it on this list.
It sounds like Eurovision.
The E word.
I don't like this song, and I think that we should go all out and put it in the gulag.
Agreed. Usually I don't put artists in the gulag for one song, but Monica and Gabriella...
This is bad. It's so bad.
I think they deserve it. I think they deserve it. So gulag out of 10.
Gulag out of 10.
Let's move on to...
Okay.
Let's move on to You're
You're Beautiful by James Blunt. I mean...
Can I just say, Nick, I am eternally grateful you didn't make me cover this song. So grateful.
I actually don't hate this song as much as I used to, and, hear me out, it's because of James Blunt, his personality and how he's sort of described the song, talking about how people have always said, oh, it's such a romantic song. Did you look into what the song's about? This is a quote directly from James Blunt. You're Beautiful is not this soft romantic fucking song. It's about a guy who's high as a fucking kite on drugs in the subway stalking someone else's girlfriend when that guy is there in front of him, and he should be locked up or put in prison for being some kind of perv.
Okay, well that's obviously not true given the utterly saccharine tones of the guitar. That's him backpedaling. That's backpedaling 101.
One of the lines in the song is, I can't remember exactly what it is, but she could see that I was fucking high.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he probably wrote the song to get into the charts or whatever, but underneath it, I just love that the lyrics do contradict these horribly sugary. I've written down that the plucked guitar interludes sound like someone learning grade 1 guitar.
True.
It's awful, and the lyrics are so ridiculously unromantic that even if it wasn't deliberate, it's still hilarious.
Okay, I'll tell you what really pisses me off about this song, and I don't know whether this is just my INTJ speaking, but in the first verse, he ends it with, well, I'm not going to lose any sleep on that because I've got a plan. And then he spends the entire fucking song whinging about how he's never going to see
he doesn't have a plan.
I don't have any patience for it, Nick. I have
and
no patience for it.
He starts his own song by singing too early. Have you noticed that? He just sort of goes, my life is brilliant. Oh, God. Shit. And then there's like 8 bars of nothing before he starts again. And the bridge in the song is one of the most underwritten things I've ever heard. It's four bars of la da da da.
Yeah. Then a little bit of a build and then you're beautiful again. And I just don't like, I'm going to be honest, I don't like his head voice that he uses in the song.
It's so nasally.
It just sounds a bit scratchy.
My life is brilliant.
So even if you don't hate this song,
it's a terrible song, but I wouldn't say I hate it.
Well, I would.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like I've gotten that out of my system.
Oh god, we're only 2 songs in, and already I feel like we've seen full Joe rage.
I'm already getting palpitations. Okay, right. Shall we move on?
Yeah, okay.
To a song I genuinely think is one of the worst songs ever conceived.
God, 3 tracks in. 3 tracks in, and Joe was already... I feel like we've hit peak Joe.
Next we have... I'm making too much noise. Next we have My Humps by the Black Eyed Peas. And I do mean it. If it's not the worst song ever written, like objectively, it's at least a personal least favourite of mine.
Yeah, it's a bad song. It's like another case following Cheeky Girls for a song which has just the worst choice of synth tones in it. They sound like Fisher Price's My First Synth.
Yeah, and then when there aren't any synths, there's just this little drum beat, and then like
it sounds like a cat throwing up.
Times infinitum. It's just.
I mean,
it's so sparse.
I don't know if you've ever heard it, but there's a Flight of the Conchords song called Boom, and I don't know if it's trying to parody this song or not, because it's very similar nonsense lyrics talking about, sex and shit. But I don't feel like this song needs a parody of it, because it parodies itself just...
Well, that's just it. It's because this is a Fergie-led song.
Yeah.
And she just... Like you said, you can't parody it. It's the worst possible stereotype of, what would you call it? Just gynocentric feminine behaviour.
And she sounds so petulant in her singing voice. You ever read the Just William stories?
I have.
Yeah. Do you remember the character Violet Elizabeth Bott?
Yes.
Yeah. I was just getting thoughts of Violet Elizabeth Bott in my head. If you don't give me what I want, I'll scream and scream and scream till I'm sick. I can. That's what it reminded me of.
Because I just hate the attitude as well. Because if she wants to celebrate how sexy she is and all that, fine, whatever. But then you get these really manipulative messages in the song as well. Like there's a whole verse where she's basically saying, well, I'm not trying to get any attention, I'm just trying to dance. But then there's whole hooks based around how she's using her body to get guys to do things.
It's like Taylor Swift saying, I don't love the drama, the drama loves me.
It's like, fucking hell, Fergie, take some if you're going to take agency, take some agency. If you're not, you're not. And I just think it's...
I will say, I feel like Fergie sort of weirdly owns the song, because I feel like if it was anyone else singing, it would sound like will.i.am is holding them hostage. I don't mean that in a good way, by the way. I just feel
it's
like,
a thought, though.
Yeah. Let's what else? Lump, hump, drunk, and bump all rhymed together, and then you've got the interlude of mix your milk with my Cocoa Pops, milky, milky cocoa. And just, I feel like everything will.i.am touches turns into sexually titillated disasters, or STDs for short.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, the thing is, will.i.am and the other two unimportant members of the band, they're barely contributing to the song. They're basically just there to fawn over Fergie, is the entire point of them. And, my favourite line of the song... They say I'm really sexy, the boys they want to sex me.
Yeah. Oh my god.
For all the song's faults, that line just makes me laugh so much that I'm just like, what?
It's a dreadful song. It's honestly, I forgot how bad this song was. And of course, you made me cover it.
Yeah.
Because you are an ass.
I am an evil genius.
Well, I guess we should just play my cover then, which I am actually secretly very proud of.
Can't wait.
What you gonna do with all that junk inside your trunk? I'ma get you drunk, get you love drunk off my hump, 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 my lovely little lumps. Check it out. I drive these brothers crazy. I do it on the daily. They treat me really nicely. They buy me all these eyes, Dolce and Gabbana, Fendi and Madonna, caring, they be sharing all their money. Got me wearing fly weather. I ain't asking. They say they love my ass and 7G. True religion, I say no, but they keep giving, so I keep on taking. And no, I ain't taking. We can keep on dating now. Keep on demonstrating my love, my love, my love, my love, my love. You love my lady loves my hump, my hump, my hump, my humps. They got you. She got me spending. She's got me spending. Oh, spending all your money on me. What
well, yeah, you certainly made me scream, Nick.
I mean, that lyric just presented so many opportunities.
It's. I'm glad I made you cover it, Nick. That was fun. That was.
Just.
I mean, I was actually digging the beat, you know.
Yeah, I mean.
Nice bit of techno.
I just found an arpeggiator that ended with that sort of brrr noise. As one that sounded kind of disconcerting, and then I just messed around with the settings on it to give it the right tone. Then I took an organ, church organ, thought, this sounds dark, but I want it to sound even more hellish. So I put a sort of 8-bit filter on it, and then just turned the volume up and down and changed it semitonally using the slider on my keyboard. So I'm sure you heard that at the end.
Yeah, I thought it was a fantastic.
What else did I do? I got the drum beat and just sort of built it up as it went on. I don't know if you noticed, but actually the vocals got more and more metallic as the song went on towards the end. It's just very gradual.
Towards the end, I noticed
it starts from the very beginning, goes all the way throughout the song, but you only really notice it at the end. And finally, the banjo part, I just thought, why not?
Oh, what a lovely touch.
Yeah, that gets more distorted as it goes on as well. And then at the end, I just cranked it up to as max,
max distortion.
Yeah.
I approve. 100% approve.
I just wanted it to sound as bad as possible, but it's more like it's still more. I think it's more interesting than the original song. Personally,
it's definitely more interesting than the original. So I'm very happy with that.
I also wanted to point out just how awful the lyrics are by just taking them at face value and just my humps, 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 my humps. You know.
Yeah. Then they're not good.
And then I just messed around with them a bit because some of them were clearly more prominent in the song than others. Yeah, let's move on.
Okay.
Well, I never heard the next track, which is Laffy Taffy by D4L.
Yeah. I'd never heard it either.
Is that meant to be pronounced a certain way? Because I have no idea what it means.
D4. I'd go with D4L.
D4.
The fool.
The fool. It might be that.
Yeah.
I pity the fool.
Okay, well, dad jokes aside.
I never heard this song before. I never intend to listen to it again.
Pretty much.
I can count 4 notes in the entire song.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really counting, but it's one of those songs. I can remember the hook slightly, but I can barely remember anything else.
I can't even remember the hook. I remember the first guy.
Laffy Taffy, Laffy Taffy,
right.
kind of thing.
I remember in the first verse, the first guy that raps sounds like he stubbed his toe.
It's a weird mixture of slurred and vibrato.
Which, I mean, what's his name? Old Dirty Bastard from Wu-Tang Clan does that quite well. This guy just sounds like in pain.
He sounds in pain, but also medicated.
And what is this obsession with comparing female body parts to inherently unsexual things? We just heard it on My Humps. Yeah. Now we're hearing it on Laffy Taffy.
I don't know. Maybe that's why these songs are considered for the worst. But this is one of those songs where I just really don't care about it at all.
Besides those 3 points I've just made, there's nothing else worthy of mentioning in this song. It's like it's not even bad in an interesting way.
It's just there.
There, bland,
it's there
crap lyrics, crap performances, but honestly, I don't think it's that much worse than a lot of chart music I've been hearing recently. I mean, granted,
Agreed.
It's got 4 notes in the entire song. That's boring as hell, but...
Yeah, I don't think we're getting much out of this track.
No.
If I'm going to be honest.
Oh, I forgot to mention, we're sending My Humps to the gulag as well, aren't we?
Oh yeah, well we've sent Fergie to the gulag already, so she's...
It makes sense that we send Will.i.am. With her.
What about the other 2 members of the Black Eyed Peas? Are they not culpable enough?
The fact that I didn't even realise there were 2 other members of the Black Eyed Peas. I mean, they just don't really show up on the songs, so... Okay,
it's Fergie and Will.i.am.
Yeah. I mean, they're the ones that have gone on to do solo things anyway, so we need to save the world from
those 2 in particular.
I wonder what our new gulag owner will do with them. That's a little teaser for the future. We have actually found an official gulag owner who is going to deal with the...
Yes, our keeper of the gulag is going to put them through some things.
Yeah,
Some things.
with his collection of kazoos.
Yeah, basically, if you think I'm an evil genius, you haven't seen nothing yet.
No, but that is for the future.
For the future, but for the now, we're going to talk about Rockstar by Nickelback.
There's something weird about this song, which is that it came out the same year as Beverly Hills by Weezer, and I always think of Beverly Hills as being a much older song. I mean, they're both terrible. And actually, Beverly Hills has probably got a case for being on this list, but that's another discussion.
I think Beverly Hills... You know what? I'm not really a fan of Nickelback, but I do think Rockstar is by far their best song. If I'm going to be 100% honest.
I will disagree, because I actually kind of like This Is How You Remind Me.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll let you off with
that's
that one.
about it. But that's probably just a nostalgia thing, because that's one of the earliest songs I remember liking.
Yeah. Well, if their song Photograph was on this list, I would 100%...
Look at this graph!
Oh, don't start. I would agree, but Rockstar, I'm going to defend Rockstar, actually. I think it's catchy, it has a sense of humour.
I'm not going to defend this song, because for me it isn't a song, it's a cry for help. Like, I was just imagining, and I've written a little speech here, I imagine. Look at me, I'm Chad Kroger, shallow asshole extraordinaire. Look, I brought Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top fame along for indulgence sake, to not be recognised by the brainless masses who will resonate with the message of this song because they failed just as hard as we did. Except we made money while doing it. Billy, just say some crap about quesadillas, I don't give a shit anymore.
Okay.
That's my interpretation of Chad Kroger on this song.
Okay. I think I'm not going to argue with you. I think I just see the fun in this song more than you do, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly that. I don't like this song.
I'm not like a huge fan of it, don't get me wrong, but I just think it's one of those songs that's just mindless fun. And if you just treat it like mindless fun, it's fine.
You have a different understanding of the word fun to me.
Does mindless change anything?
A bit. I mean, if you got rid of the fun and just left it at mindless, I'd probably agree with you.
Okay.
Granted, it's catchy. I mean, it probably succeeds in that respect, and that's probably why it did so well in the charts. But, I don't like this song. I hate the lyrics, I hate his vocal performance in general, I hate how simple it is. But, whatever. Definitely not the worst song on the list.
Definitely
by
not
a
the
country
worst,
mile.
but,
Let's talk. Okay, Joe, I've written in my notes for the next one, just let Joe talk.
Just let me talk.
Yeah, because next up we've got Baby by Justin Bieber.
Baby by Justin Bieber. So, do I want to go into... Well, basically, this is the first song in part of a cultural phenomenon that I call mashup pop, which I don't want to get into too much onto this podcast because it's a bit complicated. I've done a video on it, but basically it's so kind of simple and bad and amateurish, but at the same time it gives the same feeling of authenticity that it makes it just so easily shareable. It's just so easily, just look, this is something someone's actually done and is proud of, that it's just funny. And this song makes me laugh. It just makes me laugh so much because you got Justin Bieber, who's basically just a kid at this point, who's heartbroken because his first love doesn't love him, and he's just like, baby, 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 no. Don't tell me that isn't hilarious, Nick.
It is quite funny.
That is hilarious. And then you've even got who's the feature on that? It's Ludacris, isn't it?
Oh my god, his feature's so bad.
It's funny because he starts off with like when I was 13, and he's basically
Ludacris. You do realise you're hanging around someone who I think he probably was 13 at that time.
I actually think he was a little bit older.
But,
he was
acts
a teen.
like a
He was
13-year-old.
Basically,
what are you doing hanging around those sorts of people, Ludacris? You just look creepy. Ludacreepy.
It's so, and I love the line. She woke me up daily. I don't need no Starbucks.
There were so many great, terrible lines in that song. I just couldn't be bothered to write them all down.
It's one of those songs you just listen to it. Just listen to it yourself and have a good chuckle, I think.
Do you want to hear my take on it?
Go on.
I think it is grating, egregious, and not even remotely interesting crap, or generic for short.
I think that's fine. I think that's good in terms of describing the song contained within itself. I just find the cultural phenomena surrounding it very interesting.
Do you know what's great though? I wrote that down, and only then did I realise that it actually spells out generic in acronym form.
Ooh, nice.
That was purely coincidental.
Ah, how amazing! But yeah, this song is rubbish. I'm pretty sure it's a 1-6-4-5 chord progression.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain it is actually. It's just such simple lyrics. The synths are so bland, they might as well not be there. Beats are generic. Well, it's generic.
Yeah.
You should make another acronym. There's so much genericism about this. It's quite a feat, shall we say? But it does get topped later on in the list.
Yeah.
Shall we say?
It does. But let's move on to the next song for now. We have Miracles by Insane Clown Posse. And I actually did write down some lyrics for this one.
Go on.
We've got, I've seen shit that will shock your eyelids. I fed a fish to a pelican at Frisco Bay. It tried to eat my cell phone. He ran away. Music is all magic. You can't even hold it. Do you recognise miracles? Water, fire, air and dirt, fucking magnets, how do they work? And I don't want to talk to a scientist, you're motherfuckers lying and getting me pissed.
I wrote down that one. That is my favourite.
That is new levels of awful lyricism.
This song is just a bizarre, surreal experience. I mean, instrumentally, I don't even find it that bad. I find it hypnotic, if anything.
I think the backing really isn't that terrible. It's a little repetitive, and the guitar interlude sounds like someone practicing grade 3 guitar.
Yeah,
but,
a bit better than James Blunt.
I guess the vocal performances are a bit perfunctory, like they don't really sound like they're that interested in the miracles they're talking about, but other than that, it's perfectly listenable. Just don't focus on what they're saying.
No, focus entirely on what they're saying because it's bloody hilarious.
It is very funny.
I struggle to
magnets, how do they work?
I struggle to even call these lyrics bad because I'm just so certain they were intended to be funny and humorous.
Yeah, possibly.
They can only be.
Maybe.
Only be.
I mean, they don't strike me as the most intelligent people, I'm going to be honest. It wouldn't surprise me if they were worried about magnets.
Yeah, someone should send them back to school.
Just, no.
It's just funny. It's funny, and it's one of those songs that's so easily parodiable, I think. I mean,
they spawned a meme out of the fucking magnets line.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to say this song doesn't actually deserve to be on this list.
No, I don't think it does either, because I can think of plenty of songs with terrible lyrics but have, all right back. There's one song that's in the charts at the moment, I can't remember what it's called, but one of the lines is she tries to spell out friends but misses out, I think, the N.
Freeds.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly what it was. I only heard it on the radio the other day, but it's you know, you just think, is no one proofreading these? Yeah. You probably have 5 producers writing your song for you. Did not one of them just go, that's not how you spell it?
Yeah, it's weird. Because Miracles makes me laugh, I don't dislike listening to it. Yeah, I think I'm just going to give it a pass, is what I'm going to say.
Yeah, same. Don't think it deserves to be on this list. What about the next song, Joe? Do you think the next song deserves to be on this list? Surrounded by Silence by Design the Skyline.
So this is actually quite a departure from this list, because a lot of these songs are very much pop songs. And this song is... What's the genre? Grindcore? Is that
Crabcore. Crabcore, which is when they they squat down and hold their guitars between their legs, and they go up and down while playing it, so they look like crabs.
Yeah, it's a good thigh exercise. So
and they generally bands that generally do that like to have little dance interlude sections with auto-tuned vocals, and other bands like Asking Alexandria and Attack fall into this genre.
Okay, well, if the listeners want to know my reaction to this song, go watch the video on YouTube. Timestamp 34 seconds. When the guitars come in, there's a shot of one of the guitarists that he just looks like he's flailing about with his guitar, like not playing any cogent notes, and that's basically how the entire song sounds. It's so funny. That shot always makes me laugh when I saw it in the video, and I had to watch that video a lot because we'll get to that. But that moment just sums this song up perfectly.
I'm gonna be honest.
So messy.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Joe. I have such mixed feelings about this song because, on a base level, it's terrible. But there are so many flashes of what could be brilliance in it.
Well, that's the thing.
There's some.
Okay.
I saw on the Wikipedia article that says this is one of the worst songs. It talks about the out of sync playing of the band members, but actually they're just playing mathcore passages. It's not particularly out of sync. It's just strange time.
Okay, well this is a point I've got in my notes, is that they attempt to make mathy sections without actually making them rhythmically engaging, and that's what makes it feel like it's like out of sync or just not structured.
Yeah,
I mean, it's mathy, but it doesn't.
I don't think it's that terrible. It's just they're clearly trying to copy bands like, I know, the Dillinger Escape Plan or Sugar, I guess, and just not doing it quite as well. But those bits on their own, I don't think are that bad. The bits that piss me off are the vocal performances, which are hands down the worst part of the song, because for a start, his screams are bad. The growls at the end of the song, where he just tries and gets lower and lower and lower.
He's like,
yeah, they just hurt. They hurt
So
to listen
funny.
to. And then there's that god awful interlude section where
Which
the
one?
synths come in and the auto-tune vocals.
The clean but auto-tuned vocal.
Oh my god, it's so bad. It's honestly one of the worst things. But then it goes back into the heavier section. It's got these dissonant piano fills and these really sort of doomy chords playing over the background that sound great. And then it just gets bad again. And this song just irritates me so much because I can see the little bits of potential popping up every now and again, and then they just get drowned out by all the terrible.
Well, that's the thing. A massive problem with the song is the structure, because it looks like they're going for a slightly more progressive song structure. It's more section after section after section after section, rather than going back to A or B sections.
There's no
and things
motifs or chorus or anything.
Yeah, and on the one hand, I do like it when songs do that well, but the problem is every single section of this song isn't memorable or impactful enough for it to be memorable. And certainly after the first 3 or 4 times after I listened to this song, I left the song thinking, I can't remember a thing about what I just listened to.
I do think a lot of people just get turned off instantly by the opening, though, because it does come in and it is quite hard to listen to because of what style of music it is.
Well, it's the juxtaposition of these soft, airy synths that open it up, and then all of a sudden you've got these really grating vocals.
It doesn't fit together, but I don't think that's necessarily because the heavier section is bad. It just doesn't fit.
Okay.
I feel like I'm defending this song too much. They all look like twats in the video, by the way.
Well,
they look so stupid.
I'm not usually one to comment on people's looks. Well, I actually commented on the guitarist, so... Basically, they just look like some try-hard kids.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair to them, it's a demo song. I mean, they've got a proper video for it, which doesn't give you that impression, but it's apparently a demo. And for a demo, it doesn't sound that bad.
I mean, the production's clean enough.
Yeah.
So,
and I would maybe if they worked on the song for a bit longer, they could have pulled something out of it. I don't know.
As it is, one thing I will defend this song on is that there are worse songs in this genre.
Oh yeah.
Curve.
Oh no! We don't mention Curve.
Curve.
No.
Just mentioning them is insta-good. We'll have to cover them. We will cover them at some point. I'll have to put them on our list.
And they're not as bad as other bands that try and combine the sort of dance with metal elements, like Broken Side, for example.
I mean, I'd put Broken Side on a similar...
No, I don't think there's much worse than Broken Side.
If you want to hear this genre done good, then listen to the band Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, because they actually do it all right. But basically, it's one of those genres that I stay away from a lot of the time. It's nightmarish.
Are you scared of crabs, Joe?
They've got pincers and they pinch you. It's scary.
And what's with that whole walking sideways thing? Why can't they just walk forwards like normal people? Well, the reason that I think Joe, did you hear this song for the first time because you had to listen to it?
I actually think you might have shown me this song like 4 or 5 years ago, when near to when it came out, and I just forgot about it because when you said you wanted me to cover it,
you said, Nick, I want you to be as cruel as possible. I didn't even hesitate. It was this song.
So I had not heard it. I clicked on it, and I I listened to it 3 times, and I was just like, I don't even know what this is. So
I can't think of any conceivable way that you have covered this, so I'm really interested to hear what you've done.
Basically, it's nothing like the original. Well, you know what? Let's play it, and I'll give some footnotes afterwards.
I am very excited.
Through the forest you built for me, small clearings of oaks and giant landscapes of evergreens, swinging vines down sheer cliffs. Navigating this is full of ifs, and if I don't get it to the end without my feet slipping, you will never let me out. The trees are falling, chasing me as I yell out apologies. I taste the salt drip onto my lips. Your crying storms again as clouds eclipse your face, your fastidious death stare. Waterlogged and devastated, the forest churns out another faded man in desperation. I'm climbing woodfall, I'm crushed by debris, I'm trapped by mudslides that wash away and bring me back to where I started. Is falsely accused. Forces me to ignore the fallen trees. It's clear now I cared much more for you than you cared about me. Though the trees collapse, they fall right through me. Although the cliffs are steep and sudden, the vines held me down. Although the mudslides rage, the driftwood's all around me. Although your face is full of thunder, you're no longer a deity now.
Well, that was different.
Definitely different from the original. Because I only had a very, very, very limited time to do it, I basically listened to each section of the song on its own and just took the very, very generic shapes that I could hear within the music and tried to apply that to a piano in a generically major key.
It sounded great.
It somehow worked.
Yeah, it sounds much better than the original for sure. The lyrics actually worked really well with the piano.
The thing is with the lyrics, because this song is all screamy and shouty and auto-tuned.
I wasn't convinced there were any lyrics at the end of it.
Yeah, well, basically, I looked them up online, and they were weird. There were these passages about talking about, nature and forests and things, and then there were, like, these passages that were about, I feel so guilty and wrong, and, woe is me. And I'm just like, this is so incoherent. Yeah. Let's try and find a way to bring them together. This is where I think I actually could have done a lot better, but with the time I had...
Yeah.
I tried to make a kind of more meaningful story out of it.
Well, I mean, it was never going to be as good as Agadoo. Your cover of Agadoo is still my favourite thing I've ever heard you do.
Yeah, I don't think anything will ever top Agadoo. There will be a benchmark if I ever do, but yeah, that was fun.
We need to start uploading these covers onto YouTube. You know,
yeah. You could just imagine the comments saying, "Well, this sounds nothing like the original." Dislike.
To be fair, with Design the Skyline, they had to disable the comments and the likes and dislikes on YouTube because it was just getting such overwhelmingly negative response.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So maybe mine can fare a little bit better. But actually, the next song on our list actually went through the same thing, disabling the comments and likes and dislikes, and they even took the video down and re-uploaded it.
Yep.
And
this is another one where I've just written, just let Joe talk.
Okay. We are going to talk about Friday by Rebecca Black. And whether you like it or not, Friday by Rebecca Black, it's an absolute masterpiece. I've got my notes here. I might be reading
I'm just letting you, just go. I'll sit here.
With Friday, Rebecca Black successfully distills popular melodies, harmonies, rhythms and textures into the most concentrated they have ever been. Just in terms of musical qualities, no one has been able to surpass this song in terms of delivering safe, popular songwriting. It is an apex of what songwriting can achieve. And it deserves its acclaim. That's where I'll... That's in terms of the song qualities.
You've got to love that one vocal note.
Yeah.
Because, there's pretty much one.
It's a C.
Yeah. 7 a.m, waking up in the morning, gotta get dressed, gotta go downstairs.
It's safe.
Yeah, safe.
It's.
All of the worst parts of the song are to do with the vocals being crap. The rest of the song is just catchy. It's not pushing.
It is boldly generic.
Yeah, it's not. I want to say it's not pushing boundaries, but in a way, I guess it kind of is.
Mm.
But I still know. Listening to it, I still know a lot of the words. I still found myself singing along, and I don't give a shit.
So do I. And I genuinely...
I have got to point out, we so excited, and tomorrow is Saturday and Sunday comes afterwards.
It's educational.
I looked a bit more into Rebecca Black after this, and she actually seems to be doing okay for herself. She's released some of the songs, which actually are pretty good. I'm going to be honest. I do like Saturday with how much it just takes the piss out of Friday.
Yeah.
And I don't know. She seems like she's doing quite well out of how shit the song was perceived to be.
Yeah, perceived to be, because this does go back to the cultural phenomenon, maché pop as I call it, but it's one of those songs that it is so boldly generic. It's one of those spectacles which people can't help but notice and just take a look at and want to share with people.
And once again, it doesn't sound any worse than some of the things I've heard on Capital FM recently.
Yeah, at 100%.
Actually, the same goes for the next song as well.
Okay, one more thing about Friday though, and that is the rap in the bridge is very funny.
It rivals Ludacris's rap on...
I'm driving, cruising, fast lane, switching lanes. I see a school bus, it's coming up by me. It's so funny.
Yeah. Oh, it's not even the best. It's not, in my opinion, it's not even the best worst of the rap interludes in really generic songs that we have on this list. But we'll come to that.
I'm pretty sure it's the same person who comes up on another song on this list.
But as I was saying, songs that I don't think are much worse than other songs you'd hear on Capital FM. Swagger Jagger by Cher Lloyd, and this is another one which people it came out and people went, "Oh, this is crap." I mean, I don't think the song's great, but I don't understand what it is about it that people think is so much worse than a lot of other tracks that have come out.
I'm going to agree with you and also disagree with you. I do think it is a bit worse because you've just got this. I mean, the beat is really annoying, and I know there are a lot of songs with really annoying beats, but this one has a very particular. That's just. But then you've got the.
I didn't really notice that much because of the vocal performance that goes over the top of it. And say what you will about Cher Lloyd on this song, she has conviction in what she's saying.
Oh, she does. And that's what makes this song work so well. If you want to see my go watch my video on Mache Pop. If you want the full explanation on why I think this is the most successfully fourth wall breaking Mache Pop song. But this song, it has conviction, and I actually think she does put in a good vocal performance. She has, even if the personality is what turns people off this song, she at least gives it a personality. I mean, one thing that I do think is a major point against the song is how the verse. The pre-chorus transitions into the chorus. It feels like two completely different songs.
The use of "Oh My Darling Clementine" as the melody that she's taken for the chorus is a bit weird. Also, what is a swagger jagger?
You clearly don't have some of your own, Nick.
No, I don't. I am the least swaggerific person.
I mean, I do get it sometimes when I grow my hair out and I get a bit of a mullet, but I think that's as close as I ever get.
I think it's just two words that rhyme.
Pretty much, but the thing is, she's not the first person who uses this rhyme. Like, the Black Eyed Peas used it in one of their worst songs, That Isn't My Humps. And
that could be any one of them, Joe.
Well, they use it. I'm pretty sure Moves Like Jagger by that band.
Is that
Maroon 5?
Yes.
I
used to like Maroon 5 when I was back in year 5.
Well, their first album wasn't, bad, but then they went.
I just remember that song that was like, I don't mind spending every day out on the corner in the pouring rain. Back when I was 10 years old, that song was great.
Yeah.
I remember I had a 2005 Brit Awards CD that had that track on it.
Ah. Nice little tidbit. But yeah, Swagger and Jagger has been all over the place. So this is it. Just the concept of the song is taken. It's lifted, and then this song is actually quite scary when it gets to the climax. I think
if you watch the video, very overwhelming.
And she keeps telling me to get on the floor, and I don't want to get on the floor.
It's like a police raid.
I know. She's like, get on the floor. It's like she's gonna. Don't hurt me. She's gonna kill us if we don't. It's just so funny because it's get on the floor in a kind of dance situation is one of those fun things where it's just like, oh, everyone do this dance move, but she's like, no, you're gonna get on this damn floor.
Honestly, I don't hate this song at all.
I actually enjoy it. I don't know whether it's ironically.
I kind of enjoy it.
I can't tell if it's ironically or not, and that's the problem. I think I need help.
I'm glad that we agree on that front. I don't know.
It's just.
I think we should move on before we completely destroy our credibility.
Yeah, pretty much.
Next track, "Hot Problems" by Double Take. I mean, it's clearly a joke song.
Oh yeah,
it's deliberately bad, so I don't think it deserves to be on this list just for that reason.
Same. It's obviously a parody. I mean, if you were ignoring the fact that it's a parody, it's obviously bad, out of tune. Instrumentals crap, all of that stuff. But that's intentional.
It's not fun to listen to, and it makes me want to punch a mirror. But I don't. Yeah. I can't say it deserves to be on this list just because of the fact that they're deliberately making it bad.
I don't know. I can kind of see that perhaps it wasn't really funny enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really much of a joke. It's not fun to listen to, like I said. So it's it's bad. But is it bad in the sense that they tried to make a bad song and still failed?
Yeah, I kind of feel the same.
I just think it's a bit of a cheat to put it on the list, honestly. The
it's
people
just...
saying, oh, it's worse than Friday. Yeah, no shit. It's deliberately bad.
Yeah. So I think moving on to the last song on this list, and I mean, come on, Chinese Food by Alison Gold. It's a Rebecca Black knockoff.
Yeah,
there were thousands of them.
Unlike Hot Problems, though, I've got to say this one doesn't strike me as being deliberately bad, even if the lyrics are just...
Yeah, this is a producer capitalising on the success of Rebecca Black with Friday. And yes, I do use the term success there. And they basically, those kind of producers did, they basically went out, tried to find as many 10-year-old girls as they could to write a fun, quote-unquote, fun song that's bad, and they can put some really generic chords and beats under it, and it will blow up, it will get viral.
It's the music equivalent of The Asylum, which is a film production studio that makes films like Sharknado. Yeah. This song is the musical equivalent of Birdemic, Shock and Terror, in which nothing is edited out and it's boring as fuck. Yes, please describe to me all the boring events that never happened and led to you wanting to eat Chinese food, you degenerate fuck.
I mean,
I feel like this list is getting to me, Joe.
Okay, if I'm going to say one good thing about Chinese food, it's I like Chinese food too.
Yeah, so I mean, the Chinese food she eats in the video looks nice. Better than my local takeaway.
So I don't know whether I'd say this song deserves to be on this list, because it's obviously a knockoff. It's very, very, very obviously a knockoff, trying to replicate previous success. If that makes it bad, then fair enough. But I kind of feel like this song did what it was trying to achieve, and we would be giving it what it wants if we put it on this list. We've got
to talk about the rap verse, though, in which the guy dressed as a panda takes his hat off and just talks about Chinese food. Doesn't even particularly rap, just talks about all the things she's just been singing about.
And I'm so certain it's the same guy from Rebecca Black. Like, I was having to get side by side with the videos. So I don't know. I'm not sure if that song deserves to be on this list. I'm not going to sit here defending it, but
no. So shall we talk about how do you want to do the next section? Should we talk about your songs first, then my songs, or should we do them one then one?
We'll do
start,
one by one.
We'll start with your first pick.
My first pick is a song I am very, 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 very surprised isn't on this list already, and that is Anaconda by Nicki Minaj.
So, fun fact, I'd never heard this song before.
You never heard it?
I've never heard this song before.
You never heard it? No, because I think I was in college when it kind of blew up, 2012.
I've never heard Super Bass before.
And that's actually a good song.
Which is funny because when I had a radio show at university, I had this idea for a thing I could do with my co-host where we would get songs that are popular but we hadn't heard, and then just look at the chords and just play along with a guitar and just try and sing what we think the song sounds like. And my version of the song just... oh, God. I can't even remember what the lyrics are, but it sounded very country, my version.
I'll bet
so
that's...
So goes out to the boys with the booming system, dip-do-ta-ta.
Yeah.
I don't know the words.
The thing is, in Super Bass, Nicki Minaj actually came across like she had some kind of charm, basically. Had a catchy chorus, but in Anaconda... So even after this song came out and it got so much backlash, Nicki Minaj backpedaled and said, this song is a joke. But you know what?
It's not.
It's not a joke. This song just sounds like the logical conclusion to Nicki Minaj's obsession with her own ass.
And
that's what this song is.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It has Sir Mix-a-Lot in it.
The sample,
man, the man famous for...
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that he's in there...
Well, it's just a sample. He's not, like...
I know, but she's still chosen the man who talks about loving arse.
Yeah,
to be in the song
to contextualize her loving her own ass.
Yeah,
and it's she. It's funny because she picks the one line in that song by Sir Mix-a-Lot that doesn't really flow all that well. I don't think. My Anaconda don't want none if you ain't got buns, hun. And that is repeated so many times.
Yeah, so many times.
It's
like it's the 2010s equivalent of the Cheeky Girls.
Pretty much. Although I have to say, the lyrics in the verses, she at least makes some kind of an effort with them, even if I don't particularly care for them.
I mean, she can sing.
Dick bigger than a tower. I ain't talking about Eiffels.
Okay, no, she can't. This song's a mess. It's badly mixed. It's bizarre. Nothing flows together in it. Minaj's flows are trash. The backing is boring or overwhelming. There's no in between.
Well, yeah. Just going back to her flows. Her flows are very simple in this song. Is that what's the line? Boy toy named Troy used to live in Detroit.
I think that Nicki Minaj is. I don't want to say the saving grace because it's still a crap song, but "Swish Swish" by Katy Perry. I think that Nicki Minaj is one of the better parts of that track.
Well, she at least gives it some delivery in that track. I will give her that.
But this is, oh my god,
this is next level, and
like the lyrics are deliberately perverse, but that doesn't make them good.
Yeah.
Like bringing attention to how perverse your lyrics are doesn't mean you get a free pass for how bad they are.
Yeah, I mean,
like there's no statement. There's just an increasing urge to end it all.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I don't mind. But the thing is, if she wants to celebrate her own body, I think fine. I could have ignored this song, but then you get to this just super long outro, which starts off with, and I'm just going to read this out. Yeah, he loved this fat ass. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, this one is for my bitches with a fat ass in the fucking club. I said, where my fat ass bitches in the club? Fuck those skinny bitches. Fuck those skinny bitches in the club. I want to see all the big fat ass bitches in the motherfucking club. Fuck you if you skinny bitches. What? Ha 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 ha
yeah,
ha ha.
Those laugh bits.
I got a big fat ass. Those. The thing is, when she delivers those lines, there's no flow in them. I might as well have replaced, my voiceover in the song, but it's just, I
think we need to move on, Joe, because you look like you're about to explode.
It's just this song is everything wrong with. Okay, maybe I just need to
just calm down. Prepare yourself, because then we're just going to talk about another song that I imagine you'll get angry at.
Okay, let's move on.
Joe, you know how over the past few podcasts you've talked about how your least favourite element of hip-hop music is the brag track?
Yes.
Well, I thought that you might not have heard this next one,
I've heard this song.
Okay, because I forgot that it existed, and those were blissful days. Those were lovely days when I forgot this song existed. Oh, turn my swag on, my soldier boy.
Turn my swag on.
I didn't realise that the lyric was hopped up out of bed. I thought it was just there. Turn my swag on. Take a look in the mirror, say what's up.
What's up?
I'm making money. That is about 75% of the song.
But the thing is with this song, it starts off with that chorus, but then it just feels like an elongated chorus throughout the whole song.
I was expecting, I was just waiting for the intro to end, and it never does. The whole song is just the intro chorus.
It's the same four synth blasts.
It's just the most low effort brag track in history, and there isn't a single thing about this song that I think is good. Not a single thing.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you, but I just find it funny.
I don't even find it funny.
I'm putting that caveat on that song, I'm afraid.
Did you watch the music video that goes with it?
I've seen it.
Where it's him being just the worst human being alive, pulling money out of his mattress, eating diamonds out of a bowl. And occasionally there are these little snippets of footage done in black and white of him, waking up from a mattress when he was younger, sniffing milk that's gone out of date, recording on a single microphone in his bedroom. Oh, we're meant to feel so sorry for you, soldier boy, aren't we? No. You are just the biggest thunder cunt alive.
Yeah. I still find it funny, though.
I'm angry.
Well,
there's nothing else I can say. The lyrics are nonsensical and terrible.
Well, I can't remember any of the other lyrics. It's basically, I got rich.
I got a mattress
got
full of
cars.
Yeah. This is a cry for help.
It's so bad.
It's bad, and I hate it, and I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Okay, all I will say is that if this song was on this list, I'd say it deserves to be there, but I do find it funny, which is why I'm perhaps not as passionately hating it as other people would.
Let's move on, please.
Let's move on to... I've never actually found out whether it's die-ant-word or
I
d-ant-word.
think it's de-ant-word.
It probably is.
Because
I've
it
never
means,
cared to
it means
find
the
out.
answer. And in German, it's pronounced D.
Okay, fair enough. The more you know. And I could have picked any one of their songs, but I've gone with the one that most instantaneously gives me a headache, and that is Banana Brain. I cannot... This song, like no other song I know, gives me a headache just so instantly. After I hear it, that... Bum, 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 down, 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 that squeaky, annoying synth. Those pitched vocals. Everything about this song makes my blood boil. It actually does. And you know what's worse? My brother likes this song and I have to hear it being played.
I don't hate this song. I mean, I don't think it's particularly great, but I don't think it's bad.
I
mean, the pitch shift, eerie, childlike vocals, I think, really match the dark, energetic beats of the song. I mean, the male verses are really uninspiring. It goes on too long. The lyrics get tired really quickly, but I don't think it's bad.
Yeah, but I also can't stand the lyrics either. I couldn't even stand to write them down. It's just basically this really annoying fawning over this person between this couple, and it's just so... Ugh. I hate it. I genuinely hate this song.
I can think of... I mean, I've heard other songs by de-ant-word that I think are worse, to be honest.
Fair enough. They've done plenty of terrible songs.
I've got a friend who really likes them, and I just don't. But this track, I think, is, it's fine.
I chose Banana Brain because this one gives me the headache more than the other tracks.
Does it give you a banana brain? I don't know what a banana brain is.
I don't know. That was strangely phallic. I don't want to think about it anymore. Okay, let's move on then. But I think this definitely deserves a place on this list.
Okay, next track that I've chosen. Just straight away, I recognise I am in the minority on this one. I know that a lot of people think this song is one of the band's best, and it's gone down as, a very popular song. But I just can't stand Heart of Glass by Blondie. Absolutely can't stand it. The vocals, more so than Banana Brain for sure, make my toes curl. The guitar riff is just persistent throughout the entire song and is so irritating. The drum part is one of the most dreadfully dull things I've ever heard. The chorus sounds like all the members of the band just don't want to be there. The lyrics repeat, which I just as a rule mostly hate. Like verse-wise, I mean, not chorus, but the verses just repeat. It's the same with Mr. Brightside by The Killers. And then the outro goes on for nearly a minute without any variation.
Yeah.
And it just... I hate it. I hate this song. And I kind of... But at the same... No, I don't understand why people like this song.
Having you rant it at me, I understand your point of view. I'm kind of a bit non-fussed about this song at the moment. I do find the lyrics a bit weird. Once I had a love and it was a gas. Soon turned out I had a heart of glass. That always makes me think, does that imagery actually work?
The first chorus has decent lyrics, I think, but the way she performs them just sounds like she doesn't care.
I actually thought the exact same when I listened to it, but I kind of felt like that's Blondie's thing.
Like, there are other Blondie songs that I quite like. One way or another, I think is fun. But this song, I know a lot of people think it's a classic. I just don't like it.
I'm going to say I just don't really have a strong opinion on this song. I mean, it's groovy. I've never listened to this song an awful lot, and when I hear it, I think, yeah, this is groovy, but it's not a song that has maximum groove, shall I say. I'm not going to put this song...
Maximum groove.
Like, I'm not going to listen to, like... It's not one of those songs where I'm feeling like, oh, I want to get groovy, I want to dance around the kitchen when no one's there. And, this is not a song that I'd think about.
Fun times. Okay, let's move on to your last song.
So the last song, I actually don't dislike this song that much, but it's another song that I was very, very surprised not to see on this list, and that's Crazy Frog by Axel F.
I get what you mean, but the way I see it is that it's just... He's billed as being the most annoying thing in the world. They're just taking already popular songs and putting Crazy Frog over the top of them with very little variation from how the song sounds. So, I mean, it's uninspiring and lazy to the max, and it's definitely irritating. but it does feel like a bit of a cheat putting it on this list.
I mean, I kind of agree with you, but yeah, it's just I just did think it was very strange it wasn't on this list, because this particular song was all over the place, kind of 2005, 2006. It's got
1 billion views on YouTube.
It it's blown up. It's at least as popular as a lot of other songs on this list, but it's just as reviled. Middle-aged people everywhere hated it. So 10-year-old me actually quite liked it at the time, but yeah. So that. Okay, let's move on to your last pick then.
Okay, this is possibly another one I'm in the minority for.
Oh,
but
getting controversial.
At first I was doing this because I said to Joe, right, I want to do the national anthem, because I thought that Joe would instantly go, how dare you say that's about Radiohead?
Because that is one of their very best songs, at least top 10.
But no, I think that God Save the Queen is probably the worst national anthem I've heard. Every single other one is better than ours. The national anthem is supposed to inspire people to love their country. Instead, we just get to rub the ass of some woman who happened to fall out the right vagina.
Okay.
I mean, I don't...
I had a feeling you'd go on your anti-monarchy.
I don't overall hate the monarchy. I don't think it's a great system, but the royal family as a whole, I don't have that much of a problem with. But I just think it's weird that the national anthem, which is supposed to inspire love of a country, inspires love for a woman. Or a man, in the case of God Save the King. As well as that, I think the composition is just quite dreary compared to a lot of other ones.
I disagree. I think the harmonies strike the right balance between bold and structuring around melody as well, which is what you want for a national anthem which 4 parts can sing, which is what this was originally
I just think
designed
about
for.
Whenever I see people singing the national anthem, they always just look so bored. Like, the Soviets, they had a good national anthem. Canada has a great national anthem. Our national anthem just bores me.
I think I can see where you're coming from, because it is slow-paced.
I don't think it's necessarily a terrible composition, but I think it's the worst national anthem I know, and for that reason I could put it on this list.
You think it's a bit tried, do you? Yeah. A bit tied.
I will say that
I like that it has the word knavish in it.
Only in the second verse, though, that no one ever sings.
Oh, that's my favourite one.
Yeah, the one about how we're going to kill our enemies.
Yeah.
No one ever sings it.
Yeah,
it's a shame. I would much rather And Did Those Feet, or Jerusalem as it's sometimes called. I think that would be a much better national anthem.
Agreed. But
I'd be much happier singing that.
As it's been revealed, Radiohead will be composing our next. I'm a bit anxious, to be honest, what Tom York is going to make us all sing.
What's he doing? Are they composing the next national anthem?
According to sources that I've read, they are composing the next national anthem. And while everyone knows I'm a huge Radiohead fan,
are you sure they're not just composing their own take on the national anthem? Because it seems really weird that after so many years they'd suddenly go, yeah, let's just let Radiohead do it.
Well, I can't remember who said it, but they said some MP somewhere said that Radiohead would be a good choice because they'd be more in touch with the young people, which I kind of feel is a bit... they're in their 50s, so I'm not quite, not quite getting that. And as much as I love Radiohead and I love the vast majority of their discography, I just don't really see them as being the right band to write it, if I'm going to be honest. I'm a bit nervous. Like, if it turns out to be really weird and terrible, I'm going to love it anyway, because then everyone else has to sing it. It'll be hilarious. But, yeah.
I'd just like to mention something quickly, which is that after we voted for Brexit, there was a Conservative MP who said that at the end of the day's broadcasting, the BBC One should play God Save the Queen to celebrate our separation from the European Union. For a start, we no longer have the end of day broadcasting because it goes on through the night.
Yeah.
Secondly, Newsnight, who, quite late in the evening, said, well, we're going to adhere to his wishes and we're going to play God Save the Queen. And then they finished their show by playing God Save the Queen by the Sex Pistols. That made me laugh. Dear.
Old fuddy-duddies, eh?
So out of touch. We're at the end of our list, which can mean only one thing.
We have to pick our worst tracks?
Yep.
Okay, let's look through the
I'm
list.
thinking. I mean, I've got to say, I'm thinking Cheeky Girls.
I'm thinking, I'm kind of thinking the same. Like, those first three were
They're so bad.
such terrible, terrible songs. I can only split it between the three. I mean, my Humps just... I know it's very personal, but it offends my sensibilities. So, but then James Blunt offends my sensibilities, and then the Cheeky Girls.
For me, it's Cheeky Girls or Black Eyed Peas on this one. I think I'm going to edge towards Cheeky Girls, though.
I always feel like I have to go for my Humps, because sometimes when I talk with friends about terrible songs, I use my Humps as the benchmark, as the worst song that you can create. I say, is it better or worse than the Black Eyed Peas? My Humps. So I'm going to say, even though the Cheeky Girls is technically worse, I'm saying my Humps. I just think it's dreadful.
My Humps.
My lovely lady lumps. Yeah.
Well, have we listened to any good music this week?
I have done.
I have too, but I've only listened to one album and I've only listened to it once.
Okay.
So Janelle Monáe released her new album yesterday, and while I was hoping that it would be as strong throughout as the song she's released so far, I mean, it's not quite, but it's still a good album.
I would say the same. I would say I really enjoyed the first third and the last third.
100% agree
in the middle,
with you.
In the middle, you've got Make Me Feel in the middle, which is great, but some of the songs surrounding Make Me Feel are a bit of a lull.
I can't remember the name of the track, but the one with Pharrell Williams is
my
least favourite on the album.
Yeah, I mean, my least favourite was Pink, if I'm going to be honest. I think she made an outlandish video for that just to cover up for the fact that the song's a bit boring.
I didn't mind Pink. I didn't think it was the most interesting. It reminded me a bit of Poppy. As in Poppy Computer as opposed to Dirty Computer, which I thought was quite funny.
I can see that. Yeah.
But no, my favourite thing about the album is the fact it opens with Brian Wilson of Beach Boys fame doing his signature backing vocals.
Vocal arrangements.
I love that.
You know what? We're going to be covering this on the live podcast.
Yeah,
so.
We have to get going because we are going to be on Stacey's live podcast, which will have already aired by the time this comes out, but it's going to be after we've recorded this now.
Yeah.
So we will quickly wrap up by saying you should go and listen to Stacey's Pop Culture Parlour. It's the best podcast, hands down.
Yeah, we'll leave some links in the description.
I'm sure we will be able to advertise our segment on the podcast, which is going to be great. It's for British Heart Foundation, which you probably...
Yeah, and the Just Giving page will be open for a little longer than after the live stream aired, so you can still donate.
She's trying to reach £1,000.
Yeah,
which I think is a good target.
Yeah,
and there's going to be quizzes and
shenanigans.
Who knows what else?
We'll see what happens.
Yep. For now, we are going to end this podcast for this week. We will go back to reviewing new music next week.
Yes.
Next week. Next 2 weeks.
Next podcast.
But for now, I have been Nick.
And I have been Joe.
And we will say adieu.
Adieu.
F sharp. A sharp. Revisited.